Hi,
Uh,
Shannon.
Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with today. The film is hilarious. I love that. Love what you brought to how you kind of just like came. You come very subtly at first, and then you just say like, "Oh no, I'm the one in control of this. I know what I got to do to like kind of get this over."
Yes.
um,
She's the boss. I like it.
yeah. Can you tell me about like kind of bringing that kind of, especially playing a 13th century role, like where it's a lot harder for women to get things done. Can you like that subtlety of bringing that strength into that role?
Well, the thing is, I think she's just smart. She's just the smartest person in the room. And she genuinely actually is the smartest person in the room. Like, there's like, she's surrounded by idiots. Um, so I don't know. It was a fun challenge. I say posture is everything when you're playing royalty. It's just all about posture.
Awesome. Oh, okay.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
kind of
You
blown
immediately
away
people
by
take
it.
notice. They're like, "Oh shit, I don't want to like mess with her."
We've worked with a lot of comedy, different comedy styles like Seth MacFarlane, Seth Green, like Robot Chicken, Drunk History. What excited you about working with the Broken Lizard team?
I was I've been a fan forever. Obviously since Super Troopers. And it terrified me. I was terrified, and I do love a good challenge. And so when they came to me and asked me if I wanted to be a part of this movie, I was completely shocked, and I was like, "Are you joking? Really? They want me? Me?" Um, I read the script, and I was even more excited because it's very Monty Python-esque, and it's different than any of the other comedies they've done, which have all been great. But it's just another level. Um, and I got to live out my dream of playing a queen. Princess Buttercup is the reason I'm an actress. So
Oh,
it was pretty awesome. But yeah, it was terrifying. It was terrifying at
so
first.
you said bring up Princess Buttercup, and so Princess Bride's a big influence on you person. So did you? Is there anything that you kind of mimicked or were influenced by from Princess Bride that you like definitely brought to you to Quasi?
I'd say her posture and her attitude for
Posture
sure.
and attitude.
You know,
I can
Queen has a little bit of attitude, and I like
definitely see. I definitely see it.
it.
Uh, you talked a bit about the challenges, and then just because like you've worked with so many different like like comedy teams, how do you adapt? Like you kill it each time. How do you like kind of bring it? How do you adapt to like the different flavors of comedy? Like when it
Oh,
comes up
that's
to you.
thank you for saying that. I listen. I think that's it. Like, I think comedy is funny when you don't anticipate, because when you live in the moment, that's when the organic stuff starts to happen. That's why it's like nice to get to play because it gets fresh again, you know?
Mm.
And it's easy with these guys. So I just kind of I'm in the moment and I'm like, don't overthink this. Just say whatever comes to what would Annie say? Me. Like, what would I say? And then it comes out and they're like, oh, that's funny. So I think that's the key, is just listening.
I like that one a lot. I like that. Just kind of like letting it flow, letting it go with it, and yeah, you're right. Comedy does kind of work best when it's more natural, not super rehearsed, not super planned out.
Exactly.
Kind of going off that, how much improv was there with Quasi? Like the lines do come off very natural. It's like the jokes do come off like rapid fire. Or is every take the same, or is like every take a different go at it?
Well, I did an interview with Hef and the guys recently, and he was saying that 80% of the trailer is improv. Like, those aren't lines that were written. But we did, shoot the lines that were written that were hilarious. And then once we got it, we'd be like, okay, let's riff. Or somebody would say something that was like funny just out of whatever. And he's like, oh my God, do that again. You know? Like when I was in the chamber and I'm like, they leave me as I'm attached to the thing. I just sat up one time and I go, hey, guys, assholes. And then I got out because I just got out because I could actually do it. And that was not written. I was just like, whatever. He's like, oh my God, we're doing that. We're keeping that. But it was, the option was always there. And if you had an idea, they're always willing to like, let's see. Yeah, let's see. Cool.
Speaking of the chamber scene and that part at the end was hilarious. So, was that more?
Your day on set. Let's just say that.
Could you talk about that scene a little bit without spoiling it, or if you spoil it, I'll save it for later. But yeah, that scene was intense in a lot of ways, and it's like, is that the weirdest like raunchy scene that you've shot?
That would
Yeah.
probably win as the weirdest, raunchiest thing I've done. Although there was another scene similar that we shot that was going to be at the end of the movie. But there were just like so many endings, they had to like wrap it up. It will probably be in the outtakes. That was probably just as weird, if not weirder. We did them both on the same day.
Oh, that was.
Uh-huh. We're like, let's just see how far we can take it where it's not completely disgusting.
Is that like that situation mostly written, or is that something kind of on the day after you kind of just push it to see how far you can take it?
Day up, because I had no idea. You know what I mean? I didn't know what the hump looked like. I didn't know. You know what I mean? It was just like there was a lot of things and components. Um, Steve and I definitely had a couple drinks that day. We're like, okay, getting naked. Let's see what happens. Make this weird. Let's make this weird because that's how it's funny. So it was my first hump job for sure.
When you, I just wanted like a kind of a random question. When you hugged Steve that one time and then you kind of squeezed a little bit, what was that like on a props level? Like, what was that like when you squeezed? Was it like kind of latex, or was it kind of like
Oh,
rubber?
it's like foam,
It's
but
foam.
like there's rubber over it, so it feels really weird. It's really gross feeling. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm sure he would tell you. And then yeah, they put like this little rig underneath that has corn syrup going through it, so when it squeezes it,
That's
ejaculates. But which the first time I did it, we all got a really good laugh out of that one, which then ruined the take, but it was still so funny.
do you plan? Is it planned to have like that kind of that first one to kind of just like get the giggles and everything out of the way? Is that usually planned, or is it just like it happens, and we'll try again later?
It happens, man. Like it's hard. When I was doing Orville and Rob Lowe's character and I are in bed together and he blows up blue stuff all over me. That was such like that would take hours to prepare. And the first time it happened, I just started crying laughing because I was like, I didn't, it was so much and I had no idea what was gonna happen. You just can't help it. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm sorry, guys. But I mean, do you see that? The shock factor.
I get it. Going from like the 25th century to the 13th century, how much does like the attire and the costuming influence your performance?
Oh, all of it. It's the hair, it's the makeup, it's the wardrobe. Kelly did such an amazing job. The whole costume department did such an amazing job making those things. Those dresses were unbelievable, just gorgeous. I was like, can I keep these and just walk around in my house once in a while? Feel like beautiful and proper. But all of that stuff, it just lent itself to build a character that I loved so much playing.
And just kind of last question, and speaking of the Orville and everything, any rumblings and more updates on the next season?
I don't know if there's a new one, but there has been. I have gotten a phone call from Seth, just conversation, but I don't. There's nothing official.
That's all the questions I have for you. Thank you so much for taking the time. I can't wait for everyone to see Quasi on